welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're headed to a place that's weirder than usual, even for us.
Yep.
Gravity Falls. And we're not just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
We've got piles of your questions, fan theories,
Oh, yeah.
academic papers, even a few cryptic messages that look suspiciously like they were written in invisible ink.
Intriguing.
All hinting at the big question. What makes Gravity Falls such a magnet for the paranormal?
Right. You'd think a sleepy Oregon town would be more about, like, lumberjacks and pie.
Pie.
But instead, you've got gnomes and interdimensional demons and a creature that literally makes people puke rainbows.
It's a lot to unpack, and we're going to try and do it justice.
Definitely. What's interesting to me is how the show never really explains the source of the weirdness.
It just is, right?
Yeah, it's baked into the town.
Yeah.
Like, the mystery is part of the ecosystem.
Okay, so let's jump right into one of the biggest mysteries. And I know you guys are dying to know this one.
Yeah.
What is the deal with Dipper's real name?
Yeah.
The show never reveals it, and that's got to be a deliberate choice.
Oh, absolutely deliberate. I mean, it's practically screaming mystery. Some scholars think it's about identity.
How so?
Well, Dipper's whole journey is about figuring out who he is, especially at that age.
That awkward preteen, what's my place in the world phase?
Exactly. So keeping his name hidden could symbolize that he's still in progress,
That's fascinating. Like his true self is still under construction.
Right. And it makes you think, what power does a name hold in stories, in real life?
I like that. So if we had to give Dipper a name, what do you think would suit him?
Okay, well, the Gable theory is popular, playing off Ford.
Grunkle Ford, right?
Yeah. Personally, I'm not sold on Gable, but a G name feels right. Sticks with the family pattern.
Yeah, it's fun to brainstorm, though.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about the other big mystery, the one with the triangle.
Ah, you mean Bill Cipher.
Bill Cipher, lots of you are asking. Is he basically the devil?
Whoa, straight to the big questions. I like it. Well, it's interesting, right? Because he fits the archetype.
The manipulative charm, the bad deals.
Well, yes. Deals that always backfire on the human.
That's a devil move, right?
Totally. But then there's the name, Bill Cipher. You notice how that connects to the secret messages?
Oh, yeah, throughout the whole show. It's like the creators are saying, hey, look closer.
Exactly. Bill Cipher might be the one writing the ciphers, making him even more, omnipresent.
Creepy for sure.
It suggests he's always got a plan, always working on multiple levels.
Multidimensional demon chess or something.
Something like that. Okay, let's shift gears. You also had a bunch of questions about Suze.
Suze. Lovable, goofy Suze. The Mystery Shack wouldn't be the same without him.
Definitely not. And this might sound crazy, but you're asking, is Suze secretly a genius?
Okay, hear me out. There are moments in the show, these flashes of insight from him.
Oh, there definitely are. It's like he subverts expectations, right? He's the handyman, the comic relief.
But then, bam, he says something profound.
Like when Bill Cipher compliments Suze, but is also kind of insulting in Dreamscapers.
Implying there's more to Suze than we see.
Exactly. Or when he aced Mabel's love quiz.
That was hilarious. And kind of shocking.
Right. So is there a hidden genius lurking in there? I think it's a question worth pondering.
Maybe genius isn't always what we think it is.
True. Suze might represent a different kind of smarts.
The more practical intelligence or emotional intelligence.
Right. It's like the show is asking, what does smart even mean?
Okay, but speaking of defying expectations, you guys really want to know, why so many creatures in Gravity Falls?
And it's a valid question. You've got gnomes, you've got that Summerween trickster.
Who, let's be honest, is kind of terrifying.
Oh, for sure. Then you've got shapeshifters, and who knows what else lurking in those woods.
So is there a reason Gravity Falls is creature central?
The show doesn't give us a concrete answer. And maybe that's the point,
Leave it to our imagination.
Yeah. We get to come up with our own theories about what makes Gravity Falls so unique.
Okay, but let's zoom out for a sec. Something else you guys are fascinated by. The theme of twins. And Gravity Falls has two sets. Dipper and Mabel, obviously. Yeah. And then Stan and Ford, the mystery twins, the author of the journals.
Which, is not just a coincidence. Twins are all about duality, about two sides of the same coin.
Like Dipper and Mabel, they're so different, but they need each other.
They balance each other out. Dipper's the skeptic, Mabel's the optimist. Together, they're unstoppable.
Well, mostly unstoppable.
Most of the time. And Stan and Ford, their relationship is way more complicated.
Years of resentment, secrets, that whole portal accident.
Right. It's about confronting the past, forgiveness.
And how the choices we make affect the people we love.
Which kind of ties into the Gravity Falls mysteries, right? Dipper and Mabel figuring themselves out.
Oh, the town itself is a big old mystery, too.
Exactly. And Stan and Ford, their past is tangled up with the town's past, all these secrets coming to light.
Okay, so we've talked about Dipper's name, Bill Cipher's, well, everything.
Sue's the creature craziness.
But we haven't touched on Ford's 30 years in another dimension. All we know is he was fighting a resistance.
Right. Against Bill. But who were these rebels? What was he up against for 3 decades?
Yeah. What did that dimension even look like? It's a huge unanswered question.
And I think we need to tackle it head on. Get into the nitty-gritty, speculate wildly.
So buckle up, deep divers. We're going interdimensional.
This is going to get weird. All right, so we're back, and things are about to get really weird.
Weirder than usual, you mean? Because we've already talked about puking rainbows and mind control mushrooms.
Oh yeah, that's Gravity Falls for you. But we left off with 4, stuck in another dimension for 30 years.
Fighting some kind of resistance against Bill Cipher.
Exactly. And that's what we got to unpack. Who were these rebels? What were they fighting for?
And what was this other dimension like? Because we only get these, like, flashes.
Right. Journal entries, Ford's scrambled memories.
Yeah, it's like we're given this epic cosmic battle, but we only see snippets.
And that makes it even more intriguing. Like, what challenges did Ford face? What did he learn?
Right. Imagine you're stuck in this place where the laws of physics are, like, optional.
And you're trying to rally, I don't know, interdimensional warriors. Or maybe super intelligent gnomes.
Against a demon who can bend reality to his will. It's wild.
It really is. And, you know, it makes me think of those classic Portal fantasies.
Oh, yeah, Narnia, that kind of thing.
Exactly. But Gravity Falls adds the sci-fi element, makes it even weirder.
But the fact that we don't see most of Ford's journey, that's the genius part.
It keeps us guessing. What secrets did he uncover? What toll did those 30 years take on him?
And how did he even survive? We need answers, people.
Okay, but think about this. Ford's experience tells us something huge about Gravity Falls.
What's that?
The weirdness isn't just contained to the town. It's part of something much bigger, something multi-dimensional.
Whoa, so like Gravity Falls is just the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly. A portal, maybe, to a whole network of weirdness, other realities.
No wonder Bill Cipher was so obsessed with that portal. He wanted access to, like, everything strange.
Precisely. And Ford, being in that other dimension, he might hold the key to understanding it all.
You're saying those 30 years, they might explain why Gravity Falls is so weird.
It's possible. Maybe he met beings who knew the town's origins, or found some artifact that amplified the weirdness.
I'm telling you, we need to decode those journal entries. They're like a treasure map to the weirdness.
Absolutely. And, you know, the more I think about it, those journal entries, they point to something else, too.
What's that?
This whole cosmic battle between order and chaos. And Bill, he's clearly on Team Chaos.
The ultimate agent of chaos, right?
Right. But it's not just in that other dimension. It's happening in Gravity Falls, too.
The town's like a battleground for these cosmic forces.
Exactly. And Dipper, Mabel, everyone, they're caught in the middle.
Okay, which brings us back to the twins. The whole twin thing in Gravity Falls, it's not just a gimmick.
Oh, absolutely not. It's fundamental to the story. Dipper and Mabel, they represent, like, hope.
They face the unknown, but they stick together.
Right. Their bond is tested, but they always come out stronger. They learn and grow.
Like Dipper's the logic, Mabel's the heart.
And together, they make a pretty awesome mystery-solving duo.
Don't forget, they're also hilarious.
Oh, for sure. They bring the laughs. But then you have Stan and Ford, whose relationship is, well,
Messy.
very messy, but it's real. You know, it's about facing the mistakes you've made.
The weight of the past.
Exactly. And ultimately, choosing forgiveness, even when it's hard.
Which, you know, is kind of a metaphor for fighting Bill Cipher, too, right?
Ooh, I like that. Putting aside differences, working together against a common enemy.
Yeah, because alone, you might lose. But together, there's strength in that.
And hope. Their reconciliation, it gives us hope. Like, even broken bonds can be mended.
And that's the beauty of Gravity Falls. It tackles these huge themes.
Family, forgiveness, fighting cosmic demons.
But it's also F-U-N-N-Y.
Mm-hmm.
And heartwarming. And full of adventure.
It's a perfect blend. And speaking of perfect blends, we can't forget about Dipper's name.
Right. The mystery continues. Seriously. The more we talk about it.
I know, right? It's bugging me too.
It's like, the creators CB do UW this would drive us crazy.
They wanted us to theorize, to come up with our own interpretations.
Which I guess is kind of cool. It lets us be part of the creative process.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe the ambiguity is the point. Dipper represents every kid.
The ones who feel different, who are searching for their place.
Exactly. He becomes a universal character, relatable to anyone who's ever felt lost or out of place.
And maybe, just maybe, that's why we never get his real name.
It allows us to see ourselves in him, in his journey.
So the mystery of Dipper's name, it's like the mystery of Gravity Falls itself.
Ooh, I like that connection. It's about embracing the unknown, the weirdness, the possibilities.
And that sense of wonder, like there's always more to discover.
And that's what keeps us hooked, keeps us coming back to Gravity Falls even years later.
The unanswered questions, the what-ifs, they fuel our imaginations.
And maybe someday we'll get those answers. But until then, the mystery is part of the fun.
It's like the journey is the destination, or something like that.
Something like that. Okay, but we can't leave Suze hanging. We were talking about his hidden potential.
Ah, yes. Suze. The lovable goofball who just might be a genius in disguise.
Okay, remember that time he fixed the time machine with, no instructions?
Using only his intuition and a deep understanding of Grinkelstand's quirks.
That's not just luck, that's insight. Suze sees the world differently.
He connects the dots in a way that most people don't.
He's got this practical intelligence, this ability to see solutions where others see problems.
And let's not forget his people skills.
No.
Suze can talk to anyone, relate to anyone.
That's a kind of genius in itself, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Maybe that's part of his hidden depth, that empathy, that kindness.
In a lot of ways, Suze is the heart of Gravity Falls.
He embodies that welcoming spirit, that acceptance of the strange and wonderful.
And he reminds us that intelligence isn't just about book smarts.
It's about heart. It's about connecting with people.
Exactly. Suze is like a breath of fresh air in this world of crazy mysteries and cosmic chaos.
He keeps us grounded, reminds us to laugh, to be kind, even when things get weird.
Which, let's be honest, in Gravity Falls is pretty much all the time.
Okay, but as much as we love Suze, we still have that big question looming.
Oh, yeah. The ultimate Gravity Falls mystery. Why is this town such a paranormal hotspot?
We've talked about it being a nexus, a thin spot between dimensions.
But what if it's more than that? What if the answer lies within the town itself?
You're thinking, like, the town's history, its secrets.
Exactly. Maybe there's something buried beneath the surface, some ancient energy source.
Or maybe it's all about Nathaniel Northwest, the founder.
Ooh, yes. His obsession with the supernatural, maybe that had unintended consequences.
Maybe he, cursed the town without realizing it.
And then there's the Blind Eye Society. They're dedicated to keeping the weirdness under wraps.
Which makes you wonder, what are they really protecting? The town or something else?
It's like, is there a hidden power structure in Gravity Falls, pulling the strings, keeping the balance?
That's a whole other rabbit hole to go down.
A very intriguing rabbit hole. But, the more I think about it,
Yeah.
the true magic of Gravity Falls isn't about finding all the answers.
It's about the journey, the exploration.
Exactly. It's about embracing the weirdness, the not knowing.
And letting your imagination run wild.
Yes. And that's something we can all take with us, even when we leave Gravity Falls behind.
That sense of wonder, of possibility. It's a gift, really.
And, even though the show is over, the fandom keeps it alive.
The theories, the fan art, it's amazing.
It's a testament to the power of the show, to how much it resonates with people.
And hey, maybe someday the creators will give us more answers, revisit Gravity Falls.
One can only hope. But until then, we have the mysteries, the endless possibilities.
And that's enough to keep us going, keep us wondering, keep us deep diving. So we're back. And I gotta say, this deep dive into Gravity Falls has been a wild ride.
Seriously, it's like peeling back the layers of an onion, but instead of tears, it's just more and more weirdness.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
We've talked about the characters, the creatures, the cosmic chaos.
The twin dynamic, Dipper's name, or lack thereof.
But there's one piece of the puzzle we haven't fully explored yet, and it's a big one.
You mean the town itself?
Gravity Falls. What is it about this place that attracts the paranormal like a giant weirdness magnet?
Right. We've thrown out some ideas. A nexus point, a thin spot between dimensions.
But maybe it's deeper than that. Maybe the town has its own, personality, its own story to tell.
Oh, I like that. Like the town is a character in the show with its own secrets and history.
Exactly. And that history, it's kind of dark, right? Nathaniel Northwest, the founder, he was obsessed with the supernatural.
And not in a good way, from what we can tell.
He did some questionable things, experimented with dangerous forces.
So is it possible he, cursed the town somehow? made it a beacon for the weird.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, especially in Gravity Falls.
Right, and there are all these little hints, breadcrumbs throughout the show.
Like what?
The ancient cave paintings, those symbols carved into trees, those creepy local legends.
The ones the townsfolk tell, like campfire stories.
Exactly. It all suggests that Gravity Falls has been weird for a long time.
Way before Dipper and Mabel showed up.
Long before Grunkle Stan even thought about opening the Mystery Shack.
Speaking of keeping secrets, we can't forget about the Blind Eye Society.
Ah, yes. Those guys. Dedicated to, what was it? Upholding the status quo of weird?
Something like that. They want to keep the paranormal stuff hidden from the outside world.
Which, begs the question, why? Are they protecting the town or themselves?
Or is there something even bigger at play? Some kind of, ancient agreement or a prophecy?
Ooh, a prophecy. I like where your head's at.
Is Gravity Falls? Anything is possible. But it makes you think, is there a secret group running things?
A council of elders, maybe? Or a shadowy organization that dictates who knows what and when?
It wouldn't be the first time a seemingly quaint town had a hidden power structure.
Right, it adds this whole layer of conspiracy to the Gravity Falls mystery.
Like we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg and there's this whole hidden world underneath.
And maybe, just maybe, the key to understanding Gravity Falls lies in uncovering those secrets.
But the more I think about it, the more I realize that the journey of exploring these mysteries, that's the real magic of Gravity Falls.
I agree. It's not about getting all the answers. It's about asking the questions.
About embracing the unknown, the weird, the wonderful.
It's about that sense of wonder, of possibility. It's about using your imagination.
And never losing that curiosity, that thirst for adventure.
Which is something we can all take with us, no matter where we go or what mysteries we encounter.
Exactly. Gravity Falls reminds us that it's okay to be a little bit weird, to embrace the things that make us unique.
To never stop exploring, never stop asking, what if?
And that's a pretty powerful message, don't you think?
Absolutely. And it's something that stays with you long after the show is over.
Which is probably why the fandom is so passionate, so dedicated to keeping the spirit of Gravity Falls alive.
The fan art, the theories, the discussions, it's amazing. It's like a community of explorers sharing their discoveries.
And who knows, maybe someday we'll get more answers. Maybe the creators will return to Gravity Falls, give us another glimpse into that world.
One can only hope. But until then, we have the mysteries to ponder, the possibilities to imagine.
And that's enough to keep us going, keep us deep diving. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the heart of Gravity Falls. Remember, the truth is out there, somewhere in those weird and wonderful woods. And who knows what you might find if you keep your eyes open and your mind open to the possibilities.
Thank you for joining CMF Conspiracies podcast. What do you think about the topic we covered today? Comment below with your thoughts on this subject. If you have a conspiracy you wish for us to deep dive into, please send your topic to our email address or leave it in the comments. Thank you again for watching. Like and subscribe for more content like this.